Hello everybody. Some friends have asked me to do a drawing, little demo on gesture and form. And so what I'm going to talk about is a mustard plant, I believe, a mustard leaf. And I'm just generally looking at the shape to begin with. So the first thing you saw me do was draw this oval. I'm trying to feel what the shape is. I'm trying to see if it's flat in the back, if it's sort of pointed up in the tip, how it comes around the bottom, and looking at like the apex and a curve right here, looking at the overall shape. So when I started, it was more of like almost a circle, and then as I started to navigate it, I start to kind of plastically pull on the shape and let it shape itself so that you see more of a leaf. Now up here what I was doing was drawing more like I naturally draw, which is some of the outline shape, some of the basic beginning shape, but what I'm starting to do here is not only see the sensitivity of the line, which we could do in a contour lecture, which I'm not doing right now, but I'm starting to see the sensitivity of the line, sort of feeling the line with my body. So my whole body's sort of going all ripply and wobbly, but meaningfully, and then I start to see the shape. Now I'm gonna I'm gonna race around this, which is disgusting to do because I'm just mauling the shape. But what I wanna do is let you be able to see it on the video, a basic idea of what I did a minute ago in very, very light tones. Anyway, something like that. Now, that's just the shape. These two items, this one and this one, are just the shape basically. What I wanna do pretty soon after that is get a sense of the form. Now the form of this leaf is sort of a rippling thing, so it's a bit like a wave or a flourish. It's got a wonderful kind of whoa as I go around it. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna draw the outline again. Now again, I'm racing that outline because we're doing a video, and then the video, we have to explain things really explicitly, but I normally would not race to the edge line like that. It's kind of a cart before the horse. You know, you want to spend some time getting to know the object, and that would be in, like I said, a video on contour. On blind contour especially, which in the United States or in the Western world, I don't think we know much about blind contour, but you look at East Asian art, Japanese, Thai, Cambodian, there's some wonderful temple drawings that will give you a sense of what line actually can be. So now what I'm doing is I'm coming out of this, and form, just for a basic lecture on form, curves are either convex or concave, meaning they go either in or they kind of go out like this. So it's either a cave, like the backside, we could say the backside of a cup. Like if I drew a cup, and look how messy, isn't it wonderful to draw like a pig? This is the back side of the cup that I'm drawing. You wouldn't know it, but this is the front side of the cup. So this would be the convex side, and that would be the concave side. So there's only so many curves. There's convex, concave, and then saddle. Saddle curves are when a curve goes in and out on itself, just like a saddle. It goes concave, which would be that way, and then convex that way. That's a saddle curve. So those are the only three types of curves. So if I go back to the leaf over here, I'm basically going to be curving in one direction, and then when the leaf moves in the other direction, the curve goes in the other direction. So it goes one way, which we could call a mountain, and then we go this way, which we call a valley. So we have mountains and valleys. It all depends on which direction you're looking at the drawing or the object, where you end up with a valley or a mountain, but you get the drift. And then it goes up like that, and then it kind of goes out, and then it kind of comes up. Now this is an interesting thing. I wrote a book on form, and there's a section in the book that is about, it's hard to explain, but right here, this part of the leaf is actually getting obstructed because it's at such a severe angle like this to your camera view that you can't see the lines behind each other. So it's like the leaf's doing this, and these lines are getting tighter and shorter because the leaf is turned at an angle. You see how my finger actually disappears behind this finger? So they're sort of tucking themselves under, and that's what's happening right here. It's a really tricky part of three-dimensional form. Now right here, through this zone, you have something happening where the form is doing this, almost facing straight on you in the camera. Woo! And so you end up seeing a very foreshortened finger. There's my fingers there, right? There's the full length of my fingers. And then when I do this, they fit into this tiny little space. So that's what's happening right here on the leaf. This big broad section over here, you're seeing like this. This you're seeing at such an angle that it actually kind of just jumps up at you in short little bursts like that, and then kind of does that ripple, fold, whatever you want to call it, after that, like that. And so that's an interesting sort of little tiny foreshortened moment on the leaf. Now, this leaf is just about as dead as it could be. It does all the things it's supposed to do. You know, oh, you know what? There's some fantastic, wicked curves over here that jump up. Woo, woo, woo. That go up around the lip. The lip right here, you see where the apex of my line changes, and I may change it even more. See this change? So this apex right here is following through there where the leaf bends and comes up towards you and then goes back down. When it goes back down, it sort of jumps up and goes over this hump right here, and the hump sort of smooths out over here and then reverses on itself right there, which is a whole other thing to discuss, reverse curves. Now let's try to draw the leaf. I'm going to try, good God save me, I'm going to try to draw it so it has a little more life and I actually enjoy it rather than being, well, I enjoyed the other one, I guess, to tell you the truth. There's an ant coming down the leaf. If he interrupts the video, I'm going to be really pissed off. Not really, I love ants, but I did kill a few this morning in desperation to save the place from food invasion. But here we go. Here's the leaf. I'm starting. Now, if I was to draw this for real, which it's hard when you're drawing it in a video because I'm talking to you all, and I don't talk when I draw. No, but I know everybody who knows me is going to be surprised by that, but I basically start to feel around the thing, and I have to have a non-verbal moment. So I'm going to shut up and just feel the leaf. And what I'm doing is, I'm going to tell you before I do it. I'm drawing without looking at the paper. I'm actually drawing just the sensations of what I feel in the leaf. And now I've forgotten about the paper. Okay. Shh. I also make sound effects while I draw. It's like my inner superhero comes out. Now what I'm going to do is grab an eraser. I have to polish my eraser on my pants a little bit, and I'm just going to slide the eraser. You'll see what I'm doing when I do it. Instead of erasing like this up on the edge of the eraser, I'm going to turn it on its side like that, and I'm just going to sort of scrape over the drawing a little bit, and it'll erase all my tiny lines, leaving just the heavy ones that I put underneath. And it gives me a better sense of what's going on. Now there's a light section in this drawing, which is right through there, so I'm going to erase a little harder in the light section. Then I'll come back to it. Now, I want to look at this leaf and just get the most kind of efficient use of line at this point. I want to see just the lines that I want, and they're a little fat, so I'm going to sharpen my pencil. See how my lines look a little pushy, jumpy? So I want a nice clean pencil. There we are. And we come back in here. There's something, it's interesting when you're drawing for a video, like I realize that there's something in the length in here that's too long in the leaf, and so it's making the leaf, it won't let the leaf jump up enough. Oh, there's my alarm, gotta go. Thank you all so much for listening. You have a basic idea of some gestural stuff, and I will come back to it later. Hey, I'm back. I still want to try to get this thing. Let's see, it goes this way, so it's weird. There's this little lip over here. It doesn't want to do what I want it to do, but it wants to go up and over, and what I'm realizing is this whole side is sort of dark, like this, and then it flips up and gets quite dark in there, and then it wraps around itself. There's a little darkness there, there's a little lightness up there, kind of creeps around, and then right through here it gets significantly darker, right through here. Now, I normally would never do light and dark on a drawing like this because I didn't have it from the beginning, and so it'll look sort of strange at times, but I'm in the mood. And I think one of the greatest things about our creative power is to trust ourselves and try some of the things that we're thinking about. Now, I'm seeing all these like little tiny veins in this leaf, and I kind of want to play with them. I can't get over that this whole leaf, like where this jumps up, this ends right about, gosh, just about here. So all of this information would have to come up to this point. And so I would erase everything back there and shorten the leaf and bring it around. Now that said, it kicks back a little bit more like that, and then it sort of jumps up into the actual leaf. So I could clean up some of my lines and stuff, but this is a good lesson because there comes a time where I'll realize what something actually is, like the leaf is things that I didn't see at the beginning, and then this, I'll show you a photo in a little bit of the actual leaf, but this is cut at an angle like that. And so I realized that this whole section that I have, well, it's maybe cut more like that when I actually look at it. So the leaf actually ends, it's got to come right up to this point and then end and creep back around. Now, I'm being sort of honest. I'm being super honest. It's embarrassing to draw so badly in front of people, but I can't help it that I believe the history of drawing, people have always drawn badly. Oh, look at that ant running around on the leaf. You all can't see it because he's not on the video live, but he's up on my leaf right now. And now I'm getting a better sense of some of the stuff happening on this leaf. I want to pull around some of that light that was in here. I'm having a lot of fun actually drawing this thing. And you know what I'm starting to notice? There's these fabulous little divots of light up in here. So there's darkness on the far side of the leaf, and the leaf wraps around and glows right at the edge. So I'm going to grab some of that. Do that, grab that. Oh, what's that there's a little tiny shadow right there. And then darken some of that in. I'm going to just spread this out so I can see it. And then let's see, I come around here and I don't see, the background isn't as dark up here on the leaf because the leaf edges do not glow nearly as much, but then they start to glow again up here. So I'm going to darken it in up here, and then through here I'll just sort of drop in a gray dark, not a black dark, and then it's slowly getting darker as I come over here. There we are. Soften that edge because it's bothering me, and that's that. The background down here is another leaf, and it's pretty light green. It's like a sweet sort of soft mossy green. So I'm going to leave that alone. The stem sort of kicks out over this way, and the stem has a wonderful S curve to it, so it's got a lovely spine. This side's a lot darker, and then it's got that light leaf under it, and then up here it kind of goes into, oh gosh, there's a really fabulous dark spot right there. And I am a little bit of a truist. I love following the reality of things and not designing them for my needs. So I do end up kind of with some wonky drawings sometimes. You'll see in some other drawings that I do, it's all about kind of life, not about me. It's about finding life inside the drawing. So I don't actually edit them or shape them to be beautiful. I let them be what is beautiful about life and trust it. I want to soften that edge. It's driving me crazy. This leaf comes around down here, does something like that, and it's a little bit gray down there. There's a little bit of gray down here, but not much, like that. And it gets especially gray right through there. And so the edge of these leaves kind of are gray on gray right through here. There's gray on gray. We'll do that. And then we still have some darkness right there at that peak. When it goes around that corner. It peaks. And then it kind of swoops down. Woo! And then it peaks up again. There we are. And then into the core, out. The core has some wonderful little dips in it like that, and then comes up and over, and we are in pretty good shape. That's starting to come alive, you know, for a basic gestural drawing. It showed you some of the shape issues, some of the form issues. Both of these can be used to draw rather friendly, like if I erase our earlier form curves. I could draw the same thing, the same leaf. Now that I understand it, it's sort of shorter on this side. It sort of dives in like that, wraps around and comes up, and then goes over and down. Now I could do a very quick gesture of it just to feel, again, what it feels like. See how those edges flip up wonderfully? Woo! Woo! You know? And this, as messy as it looks, is a wonderful, lively drawing. And I should probably draw it. I'm going to draw it a little bit. I'm going to draw it a little bit darker, which is a no-no in the world of drawing, but because it'll kill some of the life. But what I'm going to do is try to track some of the darker feelings so you can see it on the video of what I felt when I draw this leaf. It's very important to have the sensations of what you're drawing in your drawings. And I think so many drawings nowadays are all about what our eyes see and nothing to do with what our heart feels. So feel your damn drawings and try to capture some of that life. It's what we love about life. Life. We love life because it's lively. Not because it's dead. And most people's drawings, when I see them, look like photographs, and photographs are honestly dead. Thanks for looking, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day. I'm just gonna keep on drawing and 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 drawing. I can't help it, I love drawing. You can go and watch something else, because at the end of the video I'm gonna say things that you don't want to hear, so you could just disconnect and get out safe before you get there, or you can cut to the end because you have fast forward and we can actually warp through time like anybody in space would. But in the meantime, Tom gets to draw. And you can just go do your homework or other things that you have to do and not worry about what I'm doing, which is having fun with a leaf. I believe a mustard plant, although somebody's going to straighten that out and tell me the truth, because I don't know plants that well yet, but we will. We will be learning a lot about plants this year. I see eyes, yellow and bright, day into night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Day into night. Toodaloo.